everyone. This is Darren Smith, Gig East Manager. As you can see, we're doing something a little different today. We wanted to, as we thought about the building of an entrepreneur community, to really talk about or drive entrepreneurship and innovation, we really came with the idea of, well, what if we actually start looking in our community and find people that we can feature who are already being innovative and in the entrepreneurial world already. Brian Goodwin is joining us today for our first episode. And Brian, introduce yourself.
Thank you, Darren. I am Brian Goodwin. I've been here in Wilson for about a year and a half now with my partner, who's in nonprofits here in the local community. We were both in Charlotte for quite a while, and I do video editing and producing for a living. And when she was going through the process of seeing if we wanted to move to Wilson, I was in the process of seeing if I could continue my employment in Wilson myself. And so when she told me about Greenlight and everything that, having gigabit internet at our disposal, that got my brain kind of spinning, saying that, oh, maybe I can convince clients to keep using them remotely.
That's awesome. And so, and then you get to make the big announcement. So who do you work with currently?
One of my clients is NBC Sports, and through them, I produce and edit the Dale Jr. Download television show that's on NBC Sports Network every week.
Which is awesome. So I'm going to geek out for a little bit because I'm a huge NASCAR fan. And so I have to ask two questions. One, are you a big fan of NASCAR? And really follow that up with, what has that been like being in that industry?
I grew up a huge NASCAR fan. As a kid growing up in Western New York, NASCAR was not a big thing. Buffalo Bills football is huge, big Bills fan, but like NASCAR, nobody cared. And I think that's what drew me to it, because it was something unique and in that part of the country. And so after high school, I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, but I knew I loved NASCAR. And so I moved from New York down to Concord, North Carolina, where I went to school at Rowan Cabarrus Community College. And they had a full 2-year associate degree program called Motorsports Management and Applied Sciences. And they still have it today. It's still a great program that's put probably hundreds or thousands of people into the NASCAR industry across a wide swath of kind of jobs. I got into television through them. I started as an intern at a place called NASCAR Productions in Charlotte, and they do pretty much all of the NASCAR content you see on TV, like the really cool documentaries and features and pre-race shows and things like that. I worked there for 12 years, and then I left in 2014 to go freelance to kind of start doing this on my own, find some new clients, new sports, new mediums. But I've stayed pretty plugged in with the NASCAR folks just because, you make good contacts, make good friends in that industry. That's kind of how it led to me working with NBC Sports. I do the Dale Jr. Download now remotely here in Wilson. So basically they film the show every week at Dale Jr.'s race shop, about 450 gigabytes worth of footage from 6 different cameras in the studio. I download it in a matter of 2 to 3 hours, and I edit it overnight. And really, I'm not losing that much more time than I was if I was in Charlotte, physically going to the shoot and everything. But I'm doing that show here in Wilson, thanks to Greenlight Internet, that, if we didn't have that, it would be absolutely impossible, and that's a client that I would have had to let go.
No, and that's amazing. I mean, that's an incredible success story, not only for you, but the city of Wilson and what they've built here over the last decade.
When we were looking to move here, if this infrastructure wasn't either here or on the way, whether it's the Greenlight Gigabit or the Gig East Exchange and like this kind of backbone of technology, if this wasn't here, we probably wouldn't have moved here, because I'd be on an island. I can't do my work without this sort of stuff that we don't even think about on a daily basis. It's just kind of the way of life here.
I think about our community here in Wilson. I definitely think about the young people who are thinking about, what do I want to do? And if they hit on something like you did, there's programs out there, there's pathways out there. I think sometimes people think, it's kind of a pipe dream. And you prove, no, there is a way to get there. Here you are doing it from Wilson, North Carolina, that until we featured you today, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in the community going, I had no idea something like that could be happening in our backyard. So I think that's just an incredible story. I was also curious, it's exciting to talk to someone like you and feature someone like yourself that's doing the kind of work you want the co-working space that we're calling the Exchange is really going to be a place for people to be able to exchange what they know, exchange ideas, help get businesses, off the ground. But it'll also be a great place for remote workers and freelancers like yourself.
So if I have clients that come to Wilson to meet me, we need to have a meeting space. I do not want to bring my clients up into my house with my crazy dogs. I want them to have a professional environment. If we're going to have a meeting to talk about, a project, a shoot, something that we're working on. Also, if they need a place, if they're coming to town maybe for a day or two, they don't want to just be stuck at a hotel. It's awesome to have a space that I can say, hey, just head on over to the Gig East Exchange and you can work from there with super fast internet speeds, get everything you need to get done while you're in town, and being right downtown with other restaurants and breweries and bars right around it too is going to be really cool.
It's good to hear that, because that's definitely the way we've designed it. I see more and more things opening up downtown, and people from the Exchange will want to walk. They'll want to walk to get a cup of coffee, a bite to eat, meet somebody for a drink after work. So it's good to hear that we're on track from somebody who's actually living the life.
Or check out the Whirly Gigs.
Exactly, right?
The Whirly Gigs, but the Exchange will be right next to the Whirly Gigs. That's what everybody wants to see.
Exactly, and we're 2 blocks away. But no, this is awesome, man. I can't thank you enough for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This is our inaugural episode, and you've been kind enough to volunteer to edit through your own production company, Be Riveted. And for everyone who's tuned in and viewed this show, please reach out to me. You can email me. You can go to our website to keep up to date, gigeast.com, or go to our Twitter account @gigeast, and definitely pass along, other topics that you'd like to see. Thank you again, Brian. Everybody that's tuned into our show, you've heard here today from a real life Greenlight member, Wilson resident, and young professional, helping put Wilson on the map.
Thank you. Glad to be a part of it.
All right, sir. Take care.